Hello everyone, welcome to the latest episode of Sales Unboxing. If you would like to know what model kits we'll be reviewing next, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell button. It's been quite some time since we've last reviewed a Gunpla kit, and I just happened to have finished one, so this is what we are reviewing this week. RG RX-78-2 Gundam Ver.2 from Bandai Namco. But before we begin, let me just do final assembly first. Here we go. Alright, we have the fully assembled RG RX-78-2 version 2 in here. Well, almost. Let's just call it version 2 to make it less redundant. And that's the reason why I haven't transformed and put the core fighter in that I will explain in a while. We've unboxed the Chocokin and even the Funko Pop version of RX-78 before, and we bet most of you are familiar with this legendary White Devil, so we are not going to bore you with its background story. But if you missed any of our previous unboxing, you can always check out the links across our channel page. Before we go into looking at the latest version of RX-78-2, let's backtrack a bit to the very first real grade or RG model being released in 2010. To celebrate the 30th anniversary of the airing of Mobile Suit Gundam, Bandai Namco started a new Gunpla line called Real Grade with a scale of 1 to 144, which is the same scale as the high grade or XG models. But unlike XG, RG models feature full inner frame, highly movable joints, and detailed part separation. All the technologies and experience Bandai Namco have gathered for the past 30 years are poured inside the RG models that have revolutionized the plastic model industry, achieving something we've never imagined in small-scale models. So far, more than 70 RG models have been released, covering many major and popular mobile suits, including those sold on Premium Bandai, special editions and exclusives, and there's no slowing down on future releases to include more mobile suits and eras. Fast forward 14 years and Bandai Namco released this version 2 last year to commemorate the upcoming 45th anniversary of Mobile Suit Gundam. And I do have to say, I'm very surprised and feel amazed how Bandai Namco can still improve on the RG line. We'll talk about the core fighter first, so we can insert that into the mobile suit for further look. The core fighter looks just like any of the core fighters in any model grade and scale. Tricolor scheme, 2 wings and tail, large cockpit window, and of course, fully transformable gimmick. Let me remove the landing gears so I can transform it. Oh, and by the way, I only painted the wheels with matte black, even though I'll most likely store them away and never see them again afterwards. Just hold on. Now the core fighter has become the core block that we can place between the upper and lower bodies. But before we do so, Bandai Namco have developed a new joint in the middle of the core fighter that allows the combined mobile suits to actually bend forward and backward, unlike previous designs that we could only rotate around the waist, like this. So it's separated. And once we've placed the core block inside Gundam, we can bend the upper body. Let me just place it in. I'll insert through it afterwards. But I'm not going to try too hard to bend it because I don't want to break anything when filming the video. At least we have the idea of the new gimmick. Now let's have a look at the completed model kit and articulations. Similar to the RG Gundam that we reviewed a year or something ago, I didn't do anything fancy or even painting at all for this version 2 model kit. One reason was the individual parts are so tiny that I had very hard times clipping and sanding them already. If I went ahead with full painting or spraying, I'll most likely lose a part or two. So instead, the whole model was mostly straight building, and I only used the MB gloss coat to spray the kit to make it less plasticky. I then put in panel lines with German grey, enamel, paint, and added some grey accents here and there. The only area I truly hand painted was the thrusters on the backpack, and that's it. I also used the included stickers and applied on the mobile suit and the weapons. They have given us both plastic stickers and what they call the realistic stickers to give them a more realistic feel, like the mirror finish stickers in places like here, and here. This has already breathed in life to the model kit. For the new generation of RG Gunpla, Bandai Namco have ditched the partially molded inner frame design, as is proven by Zeta Gundam that is a very fragile way to do so and subject to breaking. We still have the full frame structure inside, similar to an MG model, but now we can build the frame part by part, which is a very good building experience to know exactly how each part is connected and become movable. The head is connected to the body with a ball joint, making any kind of tilting and rotating possible. The shoulder armors are split into 3 sections, so they won't interfere the motions when we are swinging the arms back and forth. The elbows are double jointed, meaning we can bend the arms at 180 degrees. Unlike the older RG models, version 2 now uses separate fist parts, like this one, a closed one, and the other parts too, to make sure it can hold onto the weapons firmly. But that also means we don't have movable fingers to play with anymore. Waist armors can also move individually, so when we have to do any kind of high kicks or kneeling, the armor pieces will move out of the way. The legs are also a wonder in small scale models. Bending at 180 degrees is a given, and they have the movable thigh armors that will slide along the frame depending on the position of the joints and motions. The feet are split into 3 sections too. 1, 2, 3. So they can have a more natural posture when standing on tiptoe or kneeling. Now let's check out the weapons and accessories. Besides the renewed core fighter that we've just seen, we have the classic beam rifle, which is pretty much the same across all model lines. The shield with the big yellow cross. The Hyper Bazooka, also quite the same as before, but now we can remove the missiles. And the pair of the beam saber handles. With different fixated fist parts, version 2 can hold each weapon in a sturdier and more stable way without any wobbling. We'll also put version 2 on the turntable towards the end of this video for different action poses and weapon arrangement. When Bandai Namco released the first RG RX-78-2 15 years ago, or what we call it version 1 now, I was one of the first enthusiasts to get one. And I still have it in here. Just move this away first. I was super excited about that. I even mixed and prepared all the colors, including 3 shades of white. But when I finished cutting out all the parts, I knew I couldn't paint even one, as they were simply too small, especially my eyes are getting worse with my age. So in the end, I only straight build, spray with matte coat, and I didn't even put in panel lines. It's kind of plain. I did apply water decals that were sold separately, and you can see the results. I do regret for not making version 1 nicer, but I still have too many variations of version 1 on hand that I can keep on building and improving. Again, as being the very first RG, version 1 does have the issues with fragile, full inner frame that is also hard to bend at joints unlike version 2, and parts are very fragmented. It dropped again. That they tend to fall off when we are trying to pose it. Thank you for the demonstration. But at least it's a good way to see how Gunpla transforms over the years. If you want to have the full version 2 experience, you may also want to get this. The RG 1-144 weapon set for RX-78-2 Gundam version 2.0 that was sold exclusively on Premium Bandai website. It doesn't include the Mobile Suit figure, but it has a whole slew of weapons to complement version 2, including Gundam Hammer, replaceable iron ball part for the Hyper Hammer, one more Hyper Bazooka, so we can mimic the dual wielding of Hyper Bazookas from Operation Star 1. Super Napalm that can be attached to the bottom of the beam rifle barrel. Beam Javelin, an original RG feature that's made with clear paint parts. A curved beam saber effect part to recreate the famous scenes in the opening video and other scenes. And an action base. We'll also put all these weapons on version 2 on the turntable afterwards. So that's it for this episode of Cells Unboxing. If you enjoyed this in-depth review, please give us a thumbs up, leave your comments below, and share with others who love Gunpla. One last thing we would like to point out was when version 2 was first released, people complained that they had problem with the head cannons and the head part, in which the head cannons couldn't be seen at all through the 2 holes next to the V antenna, and the head was kind of separate from head armor. After a month or so, Bandai Namco released a new edition with minor modifications, and we've simply called it version 2.1. Interesting enough, I don't find any problem with mine, as you can see. and mine was definitely the first edition of version 2. Maybe I'm not that picky, but if you're planning to get your version 2 and your local stores let you check the runners before purchasing, this is what you should look for and confirm it's the older or newer version. Anyways, good luck with all of you and happy modeling. Now let's enjoy version 2 on the turntable. See you all next time.